Okay. The next drills I'm going to show you are our second progression in our safety drills. Not only do I want the safeties to be doing this, but I also want the corners to work some of this, because when we play off man, this is how I want the corners to play when we're doing our off man technique. So the first drill that I'm going to show you is called speed and face. Okay, and it's very similar to how we set up our safety key drill. We're going to have a line of scrimmage. We're using the hat as the line of scrimmage. We also have our outside linebacker garbage can at 6 yards, and we have our slot receiver. Okay, so the first part of the speed and face drill, what we're going to do is we're going to move the slot receiver up to his 10-yard break. Okay, and we're going to move him up to his 10-yard break, because at the 10-yard break is where you're going to get these 3 routes. And these 3 routes are the most dangerous routes that can push you vertical. Those 3 routes are the corner smash route, seam route, or post route. So what we're going to do is we're going to initiate it from our cushion. Okay, again, remember, we have to keep a 3-yard cushion with inside leverage. So the beginning of the speed and face drill is just going to start here. Okay, and when you start, I want you to tell the receiver what you want him to run. Okay, Gina, if you could just back up a little bit. The first drill, get to the side there, Gina. The first one we'll have him do is a seam. Okay, so when I say hit, all we're trying to do is mimic what happens when this 3-yard cushion gets broke and we're getting a speed and face route that's going to threaten us vertical. So the first one will be just a vertical seam. So here we go, Chris. Set it here, and I'm going to stay on top of the seam route. Okay, really make sure, I know I'm a little bit slower and older, when we open up, when that receiver breaks our 3-yard cushion, Chris, at the 10-yard mark, we want to make sure we open, point our toe, and get our hips going in direction of the vertical route. Go over on this side, Gina. The next route that he's going to run at me is going to be a corner route or smash route. Again, it's a speed and face drill. It's a route that's going to threaten me vertical. So again, we're going to get at our 3-yard cushion. The receiver is making his break to get to my 3-yard cushion, and I'm going to open up, driving my elbow to play the smash route. Okay, here we go, Chris. Ready? Set. Now, we're doing this at half speed, but when you're doing this drill, it needs to be at full speed from when you open. Chris, come here real quick. Gina, just watch us here. The big thing about the smash route is when I open and he breaks our cushion, we're down on this side, Gina, and I'm trailing the smash route to the sideline, I want to be on his upfield shoulder here, okay? I don't want to come underneath on the smash, because if he catches the smash over top of me, that's a touchdown. Okay, come back, Chris, let him just see that one more time. So again, on that corner route, when he breaks me and I got to break my cushion, go ahead, Chris, we want to run up to the upfield shoulder. Now, again, we can still use our hook and swat on that smash route. So again, seam, then smash. The third and final speed and face route is a post. Okay, so again, we're going to go from the 10-yard break of the receiver. He's going to open. Gina, get on that side. He's going to open the first time, and I'm going to have him try to beat me over top on a post route. Okay, here we go. Ready? Set. And I'm going to run with the post. Okay? What you can also have the receiver do on the speed and face drill is on the post now, have him try to beat you underneath, okay, on the post. When I say underneath, he's not going to try to beat me upfield on the post, he's going to come underneath. So on the snap, when he beats me underneath, I'm going to speed turn to stay on that post. So here we go, Chris, ready? Set. Then I'm going to speed turn, get into the upfield shoulder to stay on that post. Chris, go back to the line of scrimmage. So again, we're going to do it from a static position of those 3 speed and face routes: seam, corner, post. Now, after you've practiced open, again, work both sides. We're just showing one side here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play in my card technique. Just get behind me here, Gina. Chris, get a yard off. And now we're just gonna back up so you can see the whole drill. Back. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run those 3 speed and face routes from your normal depth and from his normal takeoff. Okay, so this is basically a live drill. Again, remember when you're working, my feet here, Gina, when you're working the takeoff, when the number 2 receiver comes out, come on, boom, we still want that shuffle before we get into our pedal. Okay, don't just bail. And again, it'll look like this. I'm gonna tell him right now what route I want him to run, but you know, once you get to past the static part, just give him those 3 options to run. So Gina, just get behind us. Chris, let's get a smash at full speed. Okay. Ready, here we go. Set. Cool. And then I'm gonna open, and we're doing the same drill, but it's just now the big picture. Okay, so after you've done it static on both sides, let's go live and get after it. So the second part of this drill, come up, Chris, to your 10-yard break. Right here. Okay. The second part of this drill is we also give vertical routes that don't threaten speed in the face, but they're routes we have to play. Because remember, any vertical route past 6 yards is the responsibility of the safety. So we've shown you the 3 routes that really threaten you deep, but we also have 2 routes that we also have to play, and those are going to be the 10-yard out or the 10-yard dig. Remember, it doesn't have to be 10, it just has to be past the hips of the linebacker. The hips of the linebacker could be at 5, the hips of the linebacker could be at 6. Those are still routes we have to play. So again, we're going to start from it in a static position. So I'm going to tell Chris, I'm going to say, all right, Chris, I want you to run it out here. So on set, all we're going to do is we're going to practice on his movement is T-stepping, run the out, Chris. Go ahead and just jog the out. And getting to that upfield shoulder, again, we don't want to come underneath the out route. We want to stay in the upfield shoulder, hook and swipe. So again, I'm letting him know what I want him to do so I can practice this statically. So now we'll say, all right, Chris, now you're at the 10-yard mark, so you can just break it, okay? So now we're gonna say we want a dig route. So from static, we're gonna go here, set, hit, boom, T-step, dig route. Again, I'm gonna work to the upfield shoulder, hook and swipe on the dig. So now, just like we did with the speed and face drill, go ahead, go back, Chris. Just like we did with the speed and face drill where we went static with it and gave you the 3 routes, then we went full speed and gave you the 3 routes. We're gonna do the same thing with the vertical in break or out break. Something we wanna look at, get behind me, Gina. As that slot attacks us and we get into our pedal and we start reading, stop right there, Chris. We wanna start really reading not only the hip to keep our leverage, but the hip, because when that hip drops, that's when I have to drop. Okay, so Chris, I want you to overemphasize when you get to this 10-yard mark to sink your hips so I know you're gonna make your break, okay? So we're into our pedal, I'm watching the hip, I see his hip sink, my hip's gotta sink too, okay? In the static drill, when he's breaking down like this, he's not gonna push me, smash, seam, or post, okay? He's breaking either out or dig. So that's what we want to look at. I sent you a drill last week about this. When his hips drop, while I'm in my pedal, my hips have to drop too. And again, we'll just do it here. Just run a 10-yard out, Chris, from the beginning. So again, we're gonna put it all together. We're gonna tell him it's either an out or in break. So again, remember, take your step, shovel, shuffle on the takeoff so you're not cheating. So here we go, Chris, ready? Set. Shuffle. Here, his hips drop. He's gonna break out. I'll go to the upfield shoulder, hook to swipe. Okay? Now, we've got the practice with that. Okay? Again, do both sides there. In the last part of the drill, what we're going to do is just to start getting ourselves ready to play some zero coverage. Remember, zero coverage now means, just follow me, Gina. We no longer have, that's good. We no longer have this outside linebacker. He's blitzing, okay? So now we are alone on this receiver to play everything, okay? How I want you to play this, okay, is we're gonna, one, change our alignment, okay? So now, when we do these one-on-one drills, I want you to, instead of playing 10 yards off the receiver and taking our step, shovel, shuffle, we want to be 6 yards off the receiver, okay? Even though it's zero coverage, we still want to take our step, shuffle, shuffle, because if we're in zero, run like a 4-yard out, Chris. Ready? And I don't take my step, shovel, shuffle, and I start bailing right away. Here we go. Ready? Poof. And I start bailing right away. He still can beat me on that route. Remember, in zero coverage, I don't have an outside linebacker to run to that route. Everything is mine, okay? So again, we're going to change our alignment to 6 yards. And on his takeoff, we'll still take the step, shovel, shuffle. So as he takes off, here we go, Chris. Boom. I'm going to take that step, shovel, shuffle, and I'm going to get into my tempo pedal, okay? From this, it becomes the static drill. Am I going to get speed in face, corner, seam, post, or is his hip going to drop? And is he going to go out or dig, okay? So that's what I really want you guys working, your next progression on the drills. Also, again, this has got to be from corners, because corners, when we lock up, if we want you on the number 2 receiver, you need to know how to play this technique if you're, whether in zero coverage or we just have you playing card coverage on the inside receiver. Okay, thank you.